Demystifying Vocabulary and Grammar for CET 2025. Okay. Now, this session purely focuses on your vocabulary and grammar. Some aspects of it, I can't cover everything under vocab or grammar, but we'll ideally try to cover the main aspects that are required for you to tackle vocabulary and grammar at the CET. Okay. Now, let's move ahead with our topic. Okay. So what's the agenda for the day? We are going to look at the overview of word-based questions in CET. We are going to look at the vocab building methodology, that is etymology or roots that are involved. Then what is the word structure? How is the word formed? And what kind of hints you need to pick up on when you look at a word, and how do you decipher what root should be? Then we'll look at grammar tips, where I'll be covering subject-verb agreement in detail, because that's the most important and the most asked question at the CET. Okay, so that is one thing that will be going in complete detail today. And lastly, we'll be solving questions based on the tips that are learned in the session. Yeah. Now, what are word-based questions? So word-based questions are questions where your vocabulary is being tested. And these questions are divided into two aspects. The first aspect is where the vocab-based questions are asked. Now, these vocab-based questions are divided into synonyms, antonyms, analogies. So synonyms basically are where you are tackling the similar meaning words. So they give you a word and then they give you 4 or 5 words below them, and they ask you to find one which is similar in meaning, right? Then we have antonyms, where we are trying to figure out the odd man out, or the one that is opposite to the meaning that is of the word given to you as a head word. Then we have analogies. Now in analogies, it is more to do with the aspect where two words are given to you which are somewhere related to each other, and then they will ask you question, find a similar relationship, or you can find a relationship that is antonymous to it. Okay, so if they give you two words, let's say wheel and car. So wheel is a part of a car is the relationship that you will find, and then you will find something below which has the same thing. The first word should have something as a part of a bigger thing. Okay, then you have odd man out, where you're given 5 words. Okay, now these 5 words, out of these 5 words, you have 4 words which are together or in sync. One word will be a bit different, and that one word you have to identify. Now these words can have synonymous relationships as well, or they can have something like, okay, they all come from Greek origin, or they all come from, let's say, Latin origin, or they are all part of a play written by someone, something like that. So that's what odd man out is all about. And then lastly, we have idioms. Now idioms are phrases with implied meaning. What does implied mean? Implied means something that is not given, but it is there. Okay, so it is kind of assumed, you can say. Okay, so when I say raining cats and dogs, it's more to do with raining heavily. It's nothing to do with cats and dogs as such. Okay, next we have, wait a while, the usage-based questions. Okay, now in usage-based questions, we have fill in the blanks, we have close test, we have choose the appropriate word, and we have the spelling errors questions. Now fill in the blanks, you can have fill in the blanks on the topic where we are talking about one word which is blank in a sentence, or you can have 2 words which are blank in a sentence. Okay, you can have also 3 words where they are blanks. Okay, so 3-word blanks have also been seen in previous years. Closed test was a question type which was very dear to CET up until, let's say, 2018-19. Okay, 2018-19, it was very dear question because they used to give a long passage. And that passage had, let's say, 15 blanks, 10 blanks, 5 blanks in that order. Okay. Sometimes you may get 15 questions in a entire passage. So you had to solve those as a fill in the blank, but for a passage itself. Okay. So then you have choose the appropriate word. Choose the appropriate word where they give you multiple words for an answer choice. So A and B. In the sentence, there would be he did this discreetly with a double ET or ETELY. Okay. So discreetly is both. Which one is something that you have to check for? Okay. And lastly, you will have spelling errors where they ask you what is the correct spelling of the word given below. They'll give you 5 options. Only one of them will be correct. So something like a antecedent can be spelled with a TI and a TE for you guys. And T is the one which you have to mark. Okay. So ANTICE will not be the correct answer. Okay.
Okay.
I can see some chat.
तभी बह रहा शुक्र भी घर भी
Arya,
हुआ
yeah, Arya is asking, can you please repeat
अल्लाह
meaning of
छुट्टी
close
कहीं नहीं
test? Okay. So Arya, basically, this is more to do with a passage which has multiple blanks. Okay. So close test was very dear question of the CET until 2018-19. Post that, it has not been asked that often. Okay. But it is a question which is scoring because you get 5 blanks in a passage, you can score all 5 all 5 marks. Or you can get 10 blanks and you can get all 10 marks. Something like that. Is it fine, Arya?
स्क्रीन करायची का?
Okay. Someone is still on unmute. Could you please mute yourself? Okay. Let's move ahead.
Sir, please repeat, choose the appropriate word.
Sorry, Sanket.
Choose the
I couldn't hear you.
appropriate words means
Choose the
please
appropriate
repeat.
words. Okay. So basically, Sanket, this question type will have a sentence which has 2 words given, A and B in it. You have to choose which word is correctly used. So as I said, he did it discreetly with a double ETLY or ETELY. Both words will be given. You have to choose A or B, which is correct in that sentence.
Okay, sir, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now, words having common spellings would always have some commonality in meaning. What does this mean? So it means if the spelling of a word is common, if the spelling of a word is common, you will have some commonality in meaning. So in the spelling, you'll have some part of the word, not the same word. Okay. Some part of the word will be same. Okay. So let's consider an example here. Okay. Let's see an example. And that example is ology. Okay. So ology is study of. Ology is study of. Now, what does neurology mean? Neurology. Neuro is brain. So study of the brain. Study of the brain. Geology. Study of the earth. Geo is earth. Zoology. Zoo is animals. Study of animals. Right? Biology. Bio is life. Bio is life. So study of living organisms. Right? Then you have your oncology. Onc is cancer. So study of cancer. Topology, topography, topology. So topo is the surface. So study of the earth's surface or the study of the construction surface, size, all those. Okay. So ology is the common theme here. See, in all of the words. And that's what we are trying to work with. Okay. So words having common spellings would have some commonality in meaning. Words having common spellings would have some commonality in meaning. And that commonality is what we are going to work with. Okay. So if I ask you what would be etymology, could you try and answer in the chat? What would be etymology? Mehak, origin of what? Yes. So ology is study of and etym is words. So study of origin of words. Study of origin of words. Very good. Ankit, can we tackle this question at the end of the session? I'll give you 5 minutes at the end of the session to generalize queries. Is it okay, Ankit? Because then the session will go on a different tangent altogether if we discuss RC now. Is it fine, Ankit? Okay. So let's look at other examples with respect to your words. Sorry about that. Erase this stuff. So what is a word structure? So word structure basically points to a prefix, a root, a prefix, a root, okay? Prefix, root, and a suffix. Prefix, root, and a suffix, okay? And this theme is seen in many of your words, okay? Many of your words. Now, the root in between is known as a base. The root in between is known as a base, okay? So, yes. So, what does a prefix do? So, prefix connotes. Prefix connotes. What does connotation mean? So, gives you a positive, negative, neutral aspect of the word. Positive, negative, neutral aspect of a word. Root is the base meaning. What is the base meaning? So base, what is the meaning of that word where you can find the crux of it? Okay. And suffix will change your grammatical forms. Change your grammatical forms. So if I say I have a positive connotation of a word, then I have EU and bene and bon, which both mean good. So when you have heard of the word euphoria, euphoria means happiness. So EU is the root there, which is giving you that good feeling, which is giving you that good feeling. Bene and bon, bene and bon, benediction. Benediction, bene is good, dict is the base meaning, that is to speak. So benediction, to speak good about someone, speak good about someone. If you have used bon, you must have used bon voyage or bon appetit. What is that? So have a good trip, have a good meal. So when you have a positive root, it gives you a positive meaning word. It gives you a positive meaning word. Then you have negative. Now negative, caco. Caco is bad. So if I say, what's the cacophony going around here? So funny is sound, P-H-O-N-Y. Funny is sound. So cacophony will be the sound that is bad or harsh. So if in a classroom, many students are making ruckus, so that's a cacophony that's going on. Then you have miss. Miss is not or hatred. So misbehave, misplace, mistake, all these words come from that negative connotation roots. Then you have neutral ones. Now, neutral ones, uni is a number one. So universal, union, unicycle, these all words. You have bi, which is two. So bicycle, biball, biannual, all these, okay, or bi-weekly. You can have tricep. Triceps is a muscles, three muscles together, right? So all these words, if you look at it, they are neither positive nor negative. And therefore, neutral roots majorly comprise of numbers, okay? Now, as I said, suffix change the grammatical forms. Now, what does grammatical forms mean? So they change the parts of speech. So if I have a word and I change the suffix, there's a high chance that you're going to change the parts of speech of it. So let's look at an example. If I say beauty is a noun, when I change it to verb, it changes to beautify. So I change the suffix ify, ify. If I want to change it to an adjective, I add beautiful. If I want to change it to an adverb, I do beautifully. Right? So that's how it works. So if I say that your imagination is good versus imagine something. So imagine something will be a verb, but imagination is good is a noun. So you're changing that last part, the suffix, and then getting your change of grammatical forms. Change of grammatical forms. That's how word structure works. So every word can be broken into prefix, roots, and suffix, or it can be a prefix only, or just a suffix, or just a root in the between with a base meaning. It's completely fine. But remember, this is something which you will have to understand while you are solving vocab, while you're trying to learn roots, while you're trying to work with roots. Only then it will work. It's not going to be a one day thing. It's not going to happen overnight. It will take time. Okay. Any questions up until this point? Anything you have not understood or anything you want me to repeat? Okay. If there are no questions, let's move ahead. Please stop using marker on the slides. Okay, let's look at some root examples. Yeah, Radhika, we are taking up. Ikra, if you want more examples of suffix, it would be able, depend becomes dependable, right? You can also have shun, as I mentioned, imagine, imagination, right? Those would be some which you should be aware of. If you want more, on the home page, we have suffix tab on your student homepage. If you go through that, you can easily figure that out. Okay. So let's look at some examples for you guys to start. Okay. So now is new. Now is new. What we want from this is that something that has now in it, something that has now in it, and it should mean new. It should mean new. Okay. So let's look at some words that you can come up with. So novel is one word. Okay. So novel is one word. Second word is novice. Second word is novice. The third word is innovate. The third word is innovate. So it's a novel idea. It's a novel idea. It's a new idea. Novice is a person who is new to the task, who is new to the task. And innovate, you are finding something new. You're trying to find something new. What other words can I make with nov? I can make novelty, a new item. I can make novelty, a new item. I can also make renovate, to make new again. Renovation of the house. Remember? So renovate, to make new again. Or I can also make novitiate, Novitiate, novitiate. Novitiate means a person who is new to the religion or religious order. Novitiate is a person who is new to the religion or religious order. Okay. Now, biblio means books. Biblio means books. So the first word that usually students come up with is bibliophile. Now, phile is love. Phile is love. So biblio is when you love books. When you love books. Then you have the holy book, Bible. You have the holy book, Bible. And you have bibliography. And you have bibliography. Now, graph is to write. Graph is to write. So if I say graphology, it would be study of writing. It would be study of writing because ology was our root where we had studied to study, right? So bibliography, biblio is where you put in the books that you refer to in your abstract or in your theory. So let's say you write a report and at the end you give a bibliography where you say, okay, these were the books that I used or these were the references that I used from the books. So that's a bibliography. What else can I make with biblio? So I can make bibliomania. Now mania is crazy. Mania means crazy. Okay, maniac word you must have heard. So mania, an obsessive love for collecting books. So let's say you find a person who has a room full of books only in his house. He does not have any other furniture. He has only books, books, books. That's a bibliomaniac or a bibliomania, right? You can also have bibliotherapy, where books are used for therapeutic purposes, And then you have bibliometrics. Where the analysis or the pattern of books for publication is used. And that analysis of patterns is usually used in libraries or usually used by publishers of books. Okay, so this is the thing. We'll do one more in the sequence. We have mort. Mort means death. Now, death, mortal. A person is mortal, which means he can die. So if you have heard of this game, Mortal Kombat, the mortal word was to kill, right? So in that combat, you had to kill the opponent player. That's how Mortal Kombat works. Then you have mortify. I was mortified by the presence of him at the end of the sequence. So suddenly he came in front of me and I was mortified. I was scared to death. Then you have immortal. God is immortal. He can't die, right? So someone who can't die is immortal. What else can I make with mort? I can make rigor mortis. Rigor mortis is a word when the stiffness that occurs due to death. So most of the times in your post-mortem report, post-mortem. So post-mortem, again, after death examination. So in post-mortem reports, the rigor mortis set in at this so-and-so hour. So after 2 hours, after 4 hours, after 5 hours, you realize when the specific person died. Then you have mortuary. Mortuary is a funeral house where you keep a lot of dead bodies. In the hospitals, there's a mortuary always where dead bodies are kept. Okay. Bibliosmia. So see, as I said, there can be prefix, there can be base, and there can be suffix. It's not always that always you will have all three. You can have either prefix, you can have base, or you can have suffix. Okay. So bibliophile has a biblio, which is a prefix, and a file, which is a suffix together. So you don't require a base itself. Is that doubt clear? Okay. Krishna, there is no type of roots which are important. You will have to do many roots. It's not going to be the same, right? Yeah, mortality, oxymotia, very good. Shubha, mortar would not be the word which comes out of your root, mort, okay? Because that does not mean like a death thing, right? So that would not work, but yes. Oxymotia, yes. Mortality, yes. Right. Fine. Any other queries at this point? No. So let's move ahead to the next slide. So what do negative prefixes mean? So negative prefixes are basically when you create a negative meaning or the opposite meaning, you kind of get that negative prefix. And that prefix is quite common and everyone will know. So if I say that flammable, not non-flammable. So flammable and non-flammable are opposites. So not flammable is the meaning of non-flammable. So non means what? Not. Non means what? Not. So the words that you can make is non-fiction, nonsense, nonchalant, non-alcoholic. All these have non as their roots. Okay. Same way, if I say legal, your opposite will be illegal. So not legal, again, the meaning is not legal. So in this case, IL becomes not. So illegitimate, illiterate, illogical, ineligible, all these words can be made. Okay. So when you find a negative word. If there is a negative prefix which is involved, you can find many words of the same sequence. And that's how your vocab will enhance. Your vocab enhancement will only begin when you put in that effort. It's not going to happen like, okay, I'll just read words, I'll just mug up words and it's going to take place. No, it's not going to happen that way. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in the effort to make a point that you find those roots. You make a point that you find many words out of it and eventually improve your vocab. Okay. Rajdeep, the session will be uploaded on YouTube later. Okay. Chahak, an as a prefix, I did not get your point. Yeah, negative prefix, yes. An is also a negative prefix, yes. So other prefixes, negative prefixes, yes. Even in, yes, Pratiksha, right. You're also right. Fine. Let's move ahead. Now in neutral, let's say we take the root ject, which is the suffix in most of these words, which we're going to discuss. Please don't draw. Okay. So suffix in the words that we are going to discuss now, right? And this suffix ject means to throw. Ject means to throw. And now to throw, we have to use in the context. Wait a while. So let's look at E or X is out. So when you eject, you throw outside. When you eject, you throw outside. Then you have re. Re means back. So reject, to throw backwards. You don't take it. You don't accept it. You reject it, right? Then you have inject, to throw inside. To throw inside, right? So in is into in this sense. Deject, D is down, to throw down. He was dejected because he could not clear his CT attempt. So to throw down, to throw down. Then you have object, to block the throw, right? So ob is against. So I have an objection towards something. I have an objection towards something. So I'm blocking it. I'm going against it. Then you have conjecture, to throw a statement. So con is with or together. Now, when you conjecture, when you make a conjecture, you are kind of suspicious or you're kind of speculating. And because of that, you're throwing in statements that confuse people. That's how conjecture works. Then you have add. So add is towards. So adjective, to throw towards a noun, to throw at a noun. So when an adjective is added, it qualifies the noun, right? It adds to the meaning of the noun. Then you have sub. Sub means under. So subject, to throw under. And then pro is before. So project, to throw beforehand. So as a root, when I took ject, I came up with so many words. And that's what we want you all also to try. You all also want or need to do this, where you come up with a root, you come up with different words, and you assimilate them into your vocabulary. How does it work? What is the meaning? How is that meaning related to this root? See, I'm not saying every word will have a root. That's not going to happen. But whenever there is a word, whenever there is a word and there is a root involved, if you can figure it out and you make other words out of it, it's easily possible that your vocab enhances. And that's how vocabulary should be done. It should not be on the basis of just, okay, I read a word today, I remember it, now I'll not forget. It's not going to happen. You are going to forget a word. So until unless you don't revise those words, you don't revise those roots often, it's not going to work. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead to the next part.
Sir, please wait. I'm just writing it down.
Take a screenshot, right, Avni? That's easier.
Sure, sir.
Done, Avni?
Sir, just a second. There's a
Yeah,
glitch.
no worries.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, how does project means like to throw before like project is a kind of, a presentation. So,
Nahi. So you project your thoughts to the group. That's how it is.
so project has like two kind of functions.
Yes.
Okay, sir, done.
Can you show the previous slide? Okay, wait a while, Shadi. I'll just do that. This one? Okay. So let's move ahead to the next slide. Now we're going to do some questions on vocabulary. Now, of course, I'll give you hints for the answer later on. First, I want you to try. Okay, so I'll place the question first. I'll not give you the answer. Then I'll discuss the answer with how you should have approached the question. And whoever gets it right, very good. Okay. So similar meaning we are going to find for the word anachronistic. Okay. And these are the options in front of you. Please try and share it on the chat. Okay. Some of you are saying E, some of you are saying D, some are saying C. Very good. Okay. B, C. Nice. Okay. Fine. So, yeah, Avni, you're on track with what you have mentioned. So basically, anachronistic, the whole theme is dependent on your root word, that is cron, or chrono. Okay. So cron or chrono means your time. Cron or chrono means time. So when I say cron is time, so anachronistic means something that is not from this time period. Something that is not from this time period. So if it is not from this time period, it means it is antiquated. It is antiquated. So it is old. It is not new. It is from an older time. It is from an older time. So if I were to see the origin of it, chrono comes from Cronus, the Greek god of time. Chrono comes from Cronus, the Greek god of time. And other words that you can easily make from chron is chronic. So chronic illness, which has lasted a long time. Chronic illness, which has lasted a long time. Or synchronize your effort. You have to be in sync. You have to be on time together while you're dancing as a group. A chronology, when you place it in an order of time, either ascending order or a descending order. So that's how antiquated is the answer for it. Now, if you look at the word sacrosanct, some of you gave that as an answer. Now, sacrosanct has a word sacred, S-A-C-R, sacred. Sacred means sacred. So sacrosanct is something that is kept sacred. Okay. So your thoughts are sacrosanct in nature. Your thoughts are sacrosanct in nature. That's how sacrosanct works. Okay. Let's move ahead to the next question. Okay. Yeah. So fidelity is the word. And your answers are okay, E, C, D. Okay, fine. So most of you are getting this right. Very good. So in a way, you know the root. That's a good thing, right? So let's discuss this and see how fidelity is associated with your answer. So fidelity, the root is fid, which is trust. The root is fid, which is trust. Okay. Now, when you trust someone, that is fidelity. When you trust someone, that is fidelity. So you trust someone, you don't break their trust, you are loyal to them, and therefore the answer should be loyalty. Therefore, the answer should be loyalty. Now, I've also given root of dole here. Now, why did I give you dole? Because of this word, the word indolence. The word indolence. Now, dole in this case has a different meaning, that is pains and not sadness. Because in condolence, dole is sadness. So when you go to do condolence for someone, it is sadness. Yes, very true. That's correct. But when I say indolence, when I say indolence, indolence is pains, the efforts that are not being taken, the efforts that are not being taken. And that is what we need to work with. That is what we need to work with here. Okay. So indolent person will be a lazy person. He does not take any efforts. Indolent person will be a lazy person. He'll not take any efforts. Okay. In atheist, again, A is the prefix. Theist, not believing in God. A, theist. Theist believes in God. A, not. So not believes in God. In sympathy, pathos is feelings. So sympathy is you have feelings for someone. You are sympathetic towards someone. In confidence, again, fid is faith. Fid is faith or trust. Okay. Please mute yourself, guys. So the answer in this case will be your loyalty. Will be your loyalty. Okay. Now, what other words can I make out of fid? So synonyms of fid. If you look at synonyms, the other synonyms that we have. So because we were asked synonyms as a question, whenever you do synonym as a question, if you can figure these synonyms out, if you keep them written somewhere in front of fidelity, whenever you come to an exam point of view, if you see constancy or devotion in the options, you don't have to think twice before marking, or faithfulness for that matter, So synonyms of fidelity, whatever I'm showing here is for you to make up your vocab. So when you practice synonyms, when you do that, if you get the answer right, very good, but also try to figure out what else synonyms could be there for that word. Automatically your vocab enhances, and that helps you a lot. That helps you a lot.
Sir, I have a
Okay.
small doubt.
Hmm.
So in indolence, so DOL stands for the pains. So does indolence merely mean a lazy person, or that particular person is inactive due to illness?
No, indolence actually, dole is pains. So
Mm.
pains is efforts. So you're not taking any efforts.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Understood? So I
Yeah.
took a lot of pains to come there,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
That way.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Shubham, the con can be a word as a prefix, but not in every word, as I said, na? So in confidence, fid is faith. Confidence means faith in yourself in this case. Understood, Shubham? Okay. Just let me erase this off. Please don't mark on the screen. The problem is that because of that, I am unable to switch slides easily. Okay. Fine. Now let's look at another question. Okay. Now this question, again a synonym for belligerent. Synonym for belligerent. Yes, Yash. Indolence means lazy. A lazy person. Yes, most of you have got this right. Very good. So the root in this case, is the prefix belli. Prefix belli. Belli means war. Belli means war. So if I say belli is war, so belligerent is a person who likes to fight. Who likes to fight. So if you look at the words there is only one word that fits the billing, that is quarrelsome. That is quarrelsome. Someone who fights. Someone who fights. So what are other synonyms of belligerent? So you can have aggressive, you can have hostile, you can have combative, you can have bellicose, you can have warlike. Now, bellicose is a term which is associated with Spartans. So if you know the creed or the people who were called Spartans, they were very eager to fight. They were very eager to take over the world. Okay. So these guys were bellicose always. They were very eager to fight. That's why. So belly has also been appearing in a word that you already know, that is rebellious or rebellion. But if you look at the root there, so belli becomes a base in that rebellion, as opposed to belligerent, where belli becomes a prefix. So it does not mean if a root word is a prefix, it can never be a base. That's not going to be there. It can be a base as well. Okay. So the answer to this question will be quarrelsome. Will be quarrelsome. Now, what about deceptive? Someone who
Most neighboring languages adopted the Sumerian.
so deceptive would be someone who does what? Yeah, Kashish. Truculent is also a synonym to it. Brawl will work. Someone who deceives. Deceptive is someone who deceives, right? Dubious, yeah, fraud, to do fraud, very good. Dubious will be someone who fakes, right? Pacific, someone who keeps calm, pacific, pacifier, okay? And adventurous is someone who does adventure, who loves to do adventure, right? Let's move to the next slide. Okay, let's see this. Okay, degenerate. What would be the answer? A, E, okay, C, B. Fine. So some of you have got it, some of you have gone a bit astray because of that disintegrate word, and that was there purposely for you to be confused. CCT will do that also. They'll give you words which are very close by, so that you get confused. So let's look at degenerate as a root. What are the roots here? So D is down, right? D is down, and gen is birth. So down by, birth, or, so to degenerate is to go down, So if I say it's going down, so the health deteriorated, my health went down, my health deteriorated, my health went down. And therefore the A answer, deteriorate, is the correct answer there. Now disintegrate means to break into parts. It does not mean it went down, right? And that's why disintegrate, even though it's quite close, but not the correct answer or the synonym to the word degenerate. Okay. If you look at rebellion, again, belli, we did the root. So that's okay. Terminate, to end things. Curtail. Now, he's very curt with his responses. So when he's very curt with his responses, he's very, what do you say, to the point. He does not speak a lot. So curtail means to shorten it, Okay. What other words, synonyms of degenerate? So deteriorate is there, decline is there, decay is there, worsen is there, corrupt is there. So all these words can also be asked as a synonym to degenerate. Okay.
So can you
Base.
explain
Yeah.
again the word curtain?
Yeah. So curt as a word means to shorten, like he has curt responses to a question. So he gives only one line answers. So very short in his answer. So curtail means to shorten thing. So I curtail the break of my employees to 30 minutes. So 1 hour ka break, maine 30 minutes kar diya. Something like that. Understood?
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, Kashish. To limit will also be one. Okay. Let's move ahead to, sorry, the answer to this question was deteriorate. So let's move ahead to the next slide. Okay, loquacious. Loquacious is the word. As I said, there are some words which are purposely placed there to confuse you. Think on it, please. Most of you have got confused in this question. Okay, so loquacious, the root is loku. Loku means to speak. Loku means to speak. So loquacious means someone who speaks a lot. Loquacious means someone who speaks a lot. So if he's speaking a lot, what would be the answer? So most of you mark sociable, but sociable is a person who is very friendly with others. So for being friendly with others, you need not be a talkative person. Understood? For being sociable, it's more of a quality where you can not be talkative and yet be sociable with the person. You can be friendly with them, right? So talkative is what the word should be. And there, the talkative word, which is synonymous, is garrulous. So the answer will be B and not A. A was there to confuse you guys. Okay. So domineering is someone who dominates a lot. So domineering personality, someone who overbears the other person. Diffident, again, faith, trust, remember. So confidence, opposite, diffidence, where you lack your trust. And malediction, when I did benediction in Bene, remember? So Bene, good, mal is bad. So malediction will be to speak bad about someone. Understood why sociable is wrong? Okay, synonyms of loquacious, talkative, chatty, voluble, gabby, all these words will work. Please mute yourself, someone who is speaking. Wait a minute. Okay. So let's move ahead to some antonyms. Okay. The opposite meaning is what we are going to find in these questions. So I have the word civility. What would be the opposite of it? Civility, what would be the opposite of it? Okay. CEA. Okay. So in civility, we are looking for the root civil. We are looking for the root civil. Okay. Now, civil as a root means what? Okay. So let's look at the root that is present. So civilis or civil related to people or citizen, related to people or citizen. So this relation to people, relation to citizen, which means someone who is very upright, very polite in his behavior, that way. So if opposite of polite is what we are trying to figure out, then the answer would be impoliteness. The answer would be impoliteness. Okay. Unpleasantness, un as a prefix, not pleasant. Something that is not pleasant does not mean it is not civil. Okay. Courteousness, positive, not going to work. Cautiousness, being cautious about something, again, not going to work. Serenity is calmness, serene, something that is calm, quiet. Okay. So that's also not going to work. So the answer will be impoliteness. Answer will be impoliteness.
Sir,
Okay.
can you name some synonyms of civility, like polite and other words?
Yeah, someone who is polite, someone who is down to earth, someone who's humble, right?
But not all civil, like people are polite, no, sir?
No, civil for us as a root, civilis means relating to people or citizen. So we have to consider everyone is polite. And therefore, the antonym of it will be impoliteness. As a root, civilis means relating to people or citizen. Citizen is a moral citizen. That's what we always consider.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So antonyms, other antonyms that civility can have. Apart from impoliteness, what could be the antonyms? So rudeness, discourtesy, inclivity, bad manners, disrespect, audacity, discourteousness. So see, there was courteousness here given to fool you. If it was discourteousness, you could have got that answer. Okay. Surliness. Surliness is when you are bad in your tongue, surled by giving bad words. So surliness. Ungraciousness. So you're not gracious enough, that way. Now let's look at this next word, recede. What would be the answer? Antonym, not synonym. Antonym, huh? Okay. Some of you have got it, some of you have gone marking the synonym in this case, ideally. So that's not going to work. Okay. So if you remember, we had reject as a word earlier. So re had a prefix. Re as a prefix we had used, remember? So root seed is to go. Seed is to go. Re is to go back. Re is to go back. So recede means to go back. Recede means to go back. So what would be the opposite of it? So the answer would be advance. Answer would be advance. Advance is to move ahead. Advance is to move ahead. Okay. So because of that, the antonyms other than advance would be grow, increase, enlarge, rise, expand, enhance, forge ahead, gain. Okay. Those all words can be the antonyms for recede. Now, if you look at retreat, again, go back. Precede comes before, right? Pre is prefix, remember? So comes before. Revert, I'll get back to you. So these all words cannot work as an antonym. Only advance will work. Only advance will work here. Let's move to the next slide. Okay. Look at the 8th question, contradict. Yes, precede was going back, no? That's why. Coming before, basically. Precede also means coming before. I preceded him, वैसे. Yes. Most of you are getting this right. Very good. Nice. So basically contradict as a root, we have dict as well there. So dict means to speak. Remember diction, benediction, malediction. So diction, dict is to speak. So contra is against. So to speak against someone. So opposite would be to correspond. Opposite would be to correspond. Okay. The word determine cannot work. Resign is to leave your job. Deny, not giving him. Abandon is to leave. Abandon is to leave. All these words can't work as a antonym to contradict. What other antonyms of contradict? So you can say confirm, corroborate. So he corroborated my tale. So he supported my tale. He supported my story. Support, verify, allow, admit, So accept, affirm, all these words can be antonym of contradict. Next is reject. Now this is very easy. Come on, everyone should get this. Yes. So all of you are getting this, which is very good because the root is very clear. Ject is to throw. We had done that. And re is back. So to throw back, you don't take it. I reject this order. I reject this claim. So opposite will be to approve. Opposite will be to approve. And antonyms apart from approve, you can say accept, you admit, you allow, you sanction, you grant, you welcome, you take, you choose. All these words can be given. Okay. So invalidate, validation, invalidation. If you have heard these words, right? So in is not to give him that validation. Okay. Not to give him that tick kind of, Shun is to keep him away or keep someone out of it. Something like exclude. So excluding and shun, almost synonyms there. Okay. And sometimes they give you something like this, almost synonyms, so that the two answers automatically get rejected. Get rejected. Okay. The last question is capture. Capture. Yes. Very good. Yes. So capture is basically as a root. Capt means to take hold or to seize. Cap is to take hold or to seize. So when you take hold of something or you seize something, opposite would be to let it go. To let it go. So to liberate, to release, to free, to lose, to let go, to forfeit, to surrender, to yield. All these words can be used. What does encapsulate mean? Encapsulate means putting into a capsule. So putting it in, trying to cover it from all sides. That is encapsulation. Okay. Suppress means to press down. Suppress means to press down. Confound, you're very thoughtful of it. Confound thought, so that. And fascinate, something that entices you. Fascination, something that entices you. So if you see, every word that we did had some root which helped us to reach the answer, and that is how it should work in the exam as well. So at the test that you take, if you know the root well, there is a high possibility that you don't go wrong with your answers. Okay. And that's what we are aiming for. That's what we are aiming for. If you get this answer right, that's the whole point of it, right? So try to figure out what way can I work with roots. See, as I said, roots are not the only medium. You will have to do association, you will have to do revision, you will also have to, read a lot. Because sometimes what happens is we tend to read only something that we love. And something that we love, if we read, we tend to get stagnated on vocabulary. And suddenly we think, oh, I know so many words. But you only know so many words from that particular domain. When another word comes from outside your zone, what happens? Then you get confused. And that should not happen. And for that, you need to work with the roots, associations, revision, all these things. You will have to do it. Okay. So if you are a time student, this is what your homepage has. So I've just put up a screenshot of it so that you know where it is. So in verbal ability inputs, you have reading material for RC, you have vocab ebooks, you have guideline for RC tones, you have today's word, you have word list beginner, word list advanced. See, I would not recommend going to the word list per se, because word lists are lists of words. Something that you have never read will not help you. So if you have read and you make a word list for yourself, that should work, but not that. So words related to various fields, you can work. That is okay. So if you get ologies, ographies, so suffixes, ologies, suffixes, ographies, you can read those. That can also help you. Then you have prefix, roots, suffixes, roots in general. What are the base forms? All those words are also there. You have word groups, your figures of speech, commonly confusable words, misspelt words, idioms and phrases, foreign words, collocation. All this is present. So the material is available for you. You just have to log into your homepage and read through it, go through it, work towards enhancing your vocabulary in that way. Okay. So I've finished the vocab part of it. Let's jump to grammar now. Now, of course, as I said in grammar, we are going to select one topic, and that is subject-verb agreement. If you have any queries within the rule, please ask there and then. Okay. Because with the slides moving ahead, coming back to the slide, it's a bit taxing on this platform. So therefore, I'll ask you at the end of the slide again if you have any queries. So let's see. So subject verb agreement, it's a very basic thing, but there are 15 odd rules that we have to work around. Okay. And those rules are quite important. Okay. And every rule will have something or the other which you need to look at whenever you're solving a grammar question. Now, remember, whenever you solve a grammar question, you have to have a flowchart of errors that you're going to look for. And in that flowchart, always keep subject verb agreement at the very beginning. So the first thing that you check is subject verb agreement, and then everything else. If you do that, automatically most of the questions you will find, oh, subject verb agreement is error, and you get the error. You don't have to look for other errors as such. Okay. So singular subject takes singular verb, plural subject takes plural verb. So the examples are the boy plays in the park, the boys play in the park. Now remember, a singular verb will always have a S at the end of it. And therefore, singular verb plays is used for a singular subject, boy here. Same way, boys, the plural subject is play. For boys, the plural subject is play. Okay. Two or more subjects, when they are joined by and, take a plural verb. Two or more subjects, when they're joined by and, they take a plural verb. So what does this mean? When I say John and Peter, there are two people are going to the market. My brother and I do watch movies. My brother does watch movies. So my brother, if it was alone, it would have been does. Does is singular. My brother and I do. Do is what? Plural. Okay. So in this case, remember that there is an exception for this rule. And what is that exception? The exception is when you use two subjects which are referring to the same person or same thing. They are compound in nature. They are compound in nature. So bread and butter, we always use it together as one unit, considered as one item. So bread and butter is my favorite breakfast, is my favorite breakfast. The principal and teacher. So see here, principal and teacher is one person. It's not two different people. If it were two different people, it would have been the principal and the teacher. The should have been included there. The should have been included it to point out that there are two people. Is giving a speech. So is singular. Is singular. Okay. So I guess these two rules are quite easy and everyone is familiar with them. Now we'll jump on to a bit trickier rules, okay, of subject-verb agreement. I think there are no doubts on this page.
No, sir.
Okay. Can you suggest a book for better vocabulary? Jayesh, there's a book called Word Power Made Easy, which works a lot. But with the time that we have, you may not be able to finish that book now. So I would suggest go through that word list and your, roots and all on your website. That should work. Advise and advice. Yes, Shubham, CE advise is a noun, SE advise is a verb. CE advise is a noun, SE advise is a verb. That's the main difference. So someone who advised you, SED, right? And I took advice from him, C. Okay. So can we get PDF of this? What, Priya, are you looking for? PDF of? Sarang will be done by 9:15 max. Yash, you will have to ask the center for this. Why is it not changing? Okay. Priya, let me ask the HO whether we can do that, but I think I'll have a word with them and then discuss and let you know. As it is, this session is being recorded and it is going to be put up on YouTube, so you can go and visit it anytime. Shreya, you'll have to search, but verbal inputs is there. Okay, so that principal and the teacher, if it was okay, Soumya, the principal and the teacher, then it was R. Understood? It is principal and teacher, it is one person. The prime minister and poet, one person. The prime minister and the poet, two person. Okay. How is Alchemist the novel? Atharva, if you have the time to read anything. It's not like should I read only Alchemist as a novel or should I read this novel, that novel? Please don't be selective of your reading habit. If you feel you can read Alchemist, go through the the last page of Alchemist, check what is being written, what is the book about, does it interest you? If it interests you, you can. Okay. What would be the best strategy to complete VRC? Viraj, in CET, basically the best strategy to complete VRC is to club questions that are easier and less time consuming with questions that are a bit time consuming. So let's say you do 5 questions of grammar, which can be done within, let's say, 30 seconds, right? And then use the remaining 30 seconds for RC. And that way you can combine and work on it. Sir, is What For Me? After I answered this question, What For Me is Easy is a very good book, but with the time constraint that we have, chances are that we don't, complete it. And not completing it is also not a good thing to go about. Half-baked knowledge ho jayega. Viraj, any daily timetable, it would purely depend on your schedule that you have, na? If you're a student of time, I would request you to go to a center where you have taken admission and meet with a verbal faculty there. He may give you a, timeline of how to approach it. Harsh, RC passages, can I take it at the end after this? Is it okay? Because RC discussion will take time, na? I've kept one question of RC as it is. Someone else had also asked. Yeah, Harsh?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's move ahead to the next set of rules. Now, singular subject joined by or, nor, either or, neither nor, take a singular verb. Okay, so all these words, when they join, they take singular verbs. So neither John nor Peter likes football. So S likes. Either the teacher or the student has made a mistake. So either one of them, right? Now, the exception in this rule is if one subject is singular and the other is plural. If one subject is singular, the other is plural. The plural is written second. Always remember, the plural subject should be written second. That is after the or after the nor. Okay? And the agreement should be plural. So either the teacher or the students are responsible is the correct way of putting it. You can't say either the students or the teacher. It can't be written. That's incorrect to write. Okay. So please remember, whenever either or, neither nor are joining two subjects, singular and plural, write the plural second and then make the verb agreement with that second plural subject. Now,
Sir,
collective nouns. Yeah. Sorry.
sir, why we have like used the word likes instead of like in the first example? Because it is mentioned singular word.
So likes with a S, na? Avni, plays, remember? Boy plays, boys
So,
play.
sir, that verb will consider it to be single and without s will be a plural verb, right?
So like is they like football. They is plural, right? Avni?
Yes, sir. Got it.
तो likes singular हो गया ना?
हाँ जी, sir.
Understood? No
Yes.
need to say sorry, Avni. Okay, chalo. So collective nouns take singular or plural verbs based on the being together or are split. Okay, based on being together or are split. So collective nouns usually, when they are taken as a group, we take them singular. But collective noun of people can have this quality where they are together or they are split in their opinion. And when they are split in their opinion, they turn to becoming plural. So let's look at an example. The team is winning. Team is a single unit, so is winning. The jury are yet to decide on the verdict. So the jury are still deciding. So they are split. They don't have that comfort of being together. Okay. And therefore the jury are yet to decide. The same way, if I say the jury has decided on the verdict, it's still correct because then the jury is together in their verdict. So remember, whenever collective noun involves people in them, okay, whenever the collective noun involves people in them, group of people collectively taken, so jury, team, है ना, or your what do you say, mob, or you can say crowd, all these, okay. So these are collective nouns where people are involved. It can be singular as well as plural, depending on whether they are together or split. Okay. Uncountable nouns take singular verbs. So uncountable noun water boils. Sugar is. Remember, uncountable nouns are nouns which are measured in their units, right? They are uncountable because they're measured in their units, not because they can't be counted. They're measured in their units. That is the whole point of it. Okay. Any doubts on this page? Anything you have not understood? And Damodar cult will work as a collective noun. Yes. Okay. Let's move ahead to the next set of rules. Titles, names, and singular phrases take singular verbs. So the Lord of the Rings is a famous book. 10 miles is a long distance. So if there are titles, names, or singular phrases that are used, they'll always take singular verbs. Indefinite pronouns take singular verbs. So each, everyone, someone, anyone, nobody, somebody, all these, will take singular verbs. So everyone enjoys the party. Enjoys with a S. Everyone enjoys the party with a S. Someone has left his or her phone. So someone has. Okay. Now remember why his or her? Because in your pronouns, remember anyone, someone, everyone, when they are replaced ahead in sequence, they are replaced with a male, female, gender, both. Because I don't know who someone is. I don't know whether that someone is a male or a female. So I have to put both the probability there. So that's why it is his or her phone. His or her phone. One off is always followed by a singular verb. One off is always followed by a singular verb. Now, what is one off? So, one of my friends, even though friends is sounding plural, we still use is coming today. One of the books, books is sounding plural, still is missing. Ninth, some nouns always take plural verbs. Some nouns always take plural verbs. Now, there are certain nouns such as scissors, trousers, pyjamas, jeans, pants, spectacles, glares, all these words are always considered plural. So scissors are on the table. Trousers are expensive. Okay, so it can't be scissors is on the table. When can I turn these words into singular? If I say pair of. If I say pair of, a pair of scissors is on the table. A pair of trousers was expensive. Understood?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Amni.
So 10 miles is a common noun. So
No,
why
it's a singular phrase.
okay.
10 miles is a singular phrase. Okay.
It is a particular quantity and not a common noun here.
No. Okay. Let's
Does
move ahead.
okay?
Any
Does
more?
sir, I have
Yeah,
some doubt. Spectacles. So how do we say? Will it be is?
Spectacles are.
Yeah.
A pair of spectacles is.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Gerunds, ing form, which are nouns, ing forms, which are nouns, used as subjects, take singular verbs. So when I say swimming, is good exercise. So is a good exercise. Reading improves vocabulary, improves with an S. Reading improves vocabulary. Now, gerund is something where verb plus ing but acts as a noun. Okay. And it can be a subject of the sentence because when we ask what is a good exercise, you get swimming as an answer. Or what improves vocabulary, you get reading as an answer. So that works well. Okay. Now, plural nouns with singular meanings take singular verbs. Plural nouns with singular meanings take singular verbs. Okay. So mathematics is difficult. So now mathematics is plural noun, but it has a single meaning. The mathematics is one subject, right? The news is shocking. The news is shocking. So news on the whole is considered that news is one. So singular meaning. It has singular meaning. Fractions and percentages, the verb agrees with the noun that follows. Now, for fractions and percentages, remember, verb will agree with what? The noun that follows ahead. So, what is following ahead? 1/3 of the cake is gone. Now, the cake is singular here, and therefore is gone. Is gone. 50% of the students are present. Students, plural. So, are. We are getting plural there. Okay. There is versus there are. Again, the verb will agree with the subject that follows. Subject that follows. So there is a book on the table because book is singular. There are many books on the table. Are is plural. So there is many books, not possible. There are book, not possible. Okay. So it should be there is a book because book is singular. So is. There are if the subject follows is plural. Okay. Any doubts here? Okay, let's move ahead to 14th rule. When there is one subject and more than one verb, the verb throughout the sentence must agree with the subject. So if there is only one subject and there is more than one verb, the verb throughout the sentence must agree. So all the verbs in the sentence must agree with that subject. So you can't just agree it at one point and then leave it ahead. That will not work. You have to agree it with for every verb that is used. So interviews are one subject, one way to collect data, and allow second subject. So allow and are both subjects are used for interviews, used for interviews. And assumption is something that is generally accepted as true and is an important consideration. So if you look at it, assumption is my subject, which is singular. So is something, first subject, is generally accepted, second verb. So first subject verb, second subject verb, and then is an important consideration, third subject and verb. So the first subject assumption has been agreeing with all the verbs ahead throughout the sentence. Okay. Now, when using as well as in a sentence, the verb should agree with the subject before as well as. So the first subject takes priority. Okay. And let's look at it. He as well as I is guilty, not are guilty. He as well as I is guilty. My cats as well as my dog play outside. Cats is my main subject here. Not my dog. Okay. What other words can do this same thing? So in addition to also does the same rule, has the same first subject priority. Besides, again same. Now besides with an S means apart from, does not means on the side. Beside means on the side. Besides means apart from. Accompanied by, with, along with, together with. All these words will follow the same rule that we are looking at here. Where the first subject takes priority. Okay. Any doubts here? 14th and 15th rule, any doubts? Okay. So, Damodar, the 10 miles question is more to do with 10 miles being a phrase. Okay. And that's a phrase collectively taken one. And that's why it is. Okay. Previous slide. Anshit, wait a while. Huh? Here. This one, right? Done? One more slide back. Okay, wait a while, Anshit. This one? Okay. Rajveer, how do you remember all these rules? See, it is not about remembering, Rajveer. Rajveer, it is more about you trying to use them while reading itself. So when you read, let's say everyone you read somewhere, you will automatically be looking for, okay, does it take a singular verb? If it takes a singular verb, then it is correct. Same way, when you read scissors and a pair of scissors. So scissors, plural, pair of scissors, singular. So if you read scissors somewhere, it should be followed by a plural thing. Yeah, Manisha, wait a while. Huh? Okay, previous slide now. Just give me a minute. Here. And 1 and 2 would be this one. So as we have done with the rules, I have 20 odd questions here, which we are going to solve. Okay. So let's solve those. If you have understood the rules, they're going to be pretty easy. You will be easily able to figure out what's happening there or how to change it. So I have written identify the error, if any, and correct it. So remember, there can be questions where no error is also possible. There can be questions where no error is also possible. Always remember to read the directions of the question given. Because if it is written, if any means if there is error, only then you will find it and correct it. Right? So please be aware of this. So what should be the answer in this case? Yes. Very good. Everyone has got it. Good job. So my aunt along with her friends are coming to visit. My aunt along with her friends are coming to visit was given. So are is what we are finding erroneous. Are is what we are finding erroneous. And that's how the change should occur. The change should occur. The answer is. So my aunt along with her friends is coming to visit. Very good. Next one, try. Rishabh, why are you placing so many ticks on the screen? Yes, everyone. Very good. So those who have answered, you have got it right. So the question was number of participants. So the subject was not participants, it was number of. It was number of, right? And because number of is my number of participants, number is my subject, which is singular. So my answer should be have converting to has. Have converting to has, right? So answer is has. Answer is has. So the number of participants in the competition has significantly increased compared to last year. Has significantly increased compared to last year. We don't change the subject. Those who are making it clear, no, don't do that. So I've got two answers who have got it. So I'm glad that somebody said. So two of you have got it. Damodar has got it, and Chandravadna. Yeah, you have got it. Very good. So those who have not got it, what you have corrected is you are trying to make is to R, which is not the correction that was expected. As I said, if any, remember, if any means if there are any mistakes, only then you can correct it. So each of the players, my subject is each, which is a indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronoun takes singular verbs. So no error. The answer is the sentence is grammatically correct. The sentence is grammatically correct. Fourth, read the sentence. Read the sentence, please. It's not no error. Chalo. I'm giving you, it's not no error. Why is it not no error? Only one of you has answered correctly. So basically, if you look at it, the team is arguing Arguing means what? They are having a fight, right? So if they are having a fight, are they together in their opinion? No. That means they are split. And if they are split, which means the is incorrect. The is incorrect there. Okay. So the answer will be the team are arguing among themselves about the strategy. Are arguing among themselves about the strategy. Let's move ahead to this one. Yes. Very good. Yeah, Ketki, wait a while. Huh? I'll just finish this off and then I'll explain it again. Yeah, everyone is getting this right. Very good. So the answer is here. The error is there because we are talking about furniture being what? A part of your uncountable nouns, right? A piece of furniture usually, right? So furniture is uncountable noun and therefore your answer is not are but is. Answer is. Okay. So the furniture in this house is very expensive, is very expensive. Now the team is arguing among themselves about the strategy. Ketki, in this case, we are looking at team as a collective noun. Very true. Collective noun is there. But the collective noun team is split in their opinion. They are arguing, right? And because they are arguing, they are not together. And if they are not together, which means what? They are split. Split means plural. And therefore, team are arguing, not is arguing. Understood, Ketki? Okay. Chalo. Let's go to the next slide of next question set. Ikra, I'll show all the slides at the end, okay? Let's just finish the questions that we have. Yes, very good, everyone. So the whole point here is one off. And one off is always followed by a singular verb, which is wrong here. Live is wrong here. Live is wrong here, right? So one of my closest friends will who lives in Canada. Who lives in Canada is visiting next month. 7. Remember the rule. What was the rule? Neither nor, two subjects, one singular, one plural. What happens? Yes. Motorola. You have got it. Jayesh, very good. Damodar, very good. Priya, very good. No, Ronak. What did I say? Neither nor, either or. When there are two subjects, plural, singular. Plural will be written second. Singular first. So my correction should be interchanging the subjects. Were is correct. Were is not the error here. Were is correct. The error is I have written it in a wrong way. The subjects should be written with the second subject being after nor, teacher being before nor. Is this clear, everyone? See, this is somewhere where most of the time students falter, okay? Most of the time student falter, and therefore neither the teacher nor the students were happy with the results, okay? Okay, try this. No Radhika, no Damodar. Roses is correct. What are we talking about? What is the subject? Shubham, there is an error. Asta, very good. Yes, Damodar, very good. So most of you got this. So remember, again, we are looking at collective noun. We are looking at collective noun roses ka bouquet, है ना? So bouquet is my collective noun, right? So bouquet becomes singular. Singular subject, verb should be singular. Singular subject, verb should be singular, right? So smell is incorrect. Smell is incorrect. You will have smells. You will have smells there. Okay. So the answer to this question is the bouquet of roses smells wonderful. Smells with an S, wonderful. Okay, ninth question. Yes, very good. Pratiksha, read. Pratiksha, read. Please read. Most of you have got it. Very good. Almost all you have got it. So here the manager and the assistant, you know. So you have the manager, one person, the assistant, other person. So was is incorrect. Was is incorrect. Okay. So you will have what as an answer choice? So were. Was will turn to were. Was will turn to were. So the manager and the assistant were discussing the new project. Now, Pratiksha, if it was the manager and assistant, then it was correct. He was a manager and assistant at the same time. So assistant to the CEO ho sakta hai. Not the manager and assistant. One person cannot have the same manager and assistant of himself. He could be assistant to the CEO or something like that. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. What happened here? Okay. Yeah. 11th question. Pratiksha, Radhika, Vrishali, Shraddha, Astha. Think. Are they together in their opinion? Damodar, if it was the manager along with, then manager becomes singular, so singular आगे continue हो जाएगा. Singular would be the answer then. Huh? Yes, no error. They are together in their opinion. Very good. So if they are together in their opinion, the committee together have decided, no, has finally decided. This is correct because they have approved. They have approved means they are together. They are together. Okay. So please see this. No error. The answer will be no error. Okay. What would be 12th? Yes, War and Peace is a title. War and Peace is the title. So War and Peace is one of the longest novels ever written. Longest novels ever written. I will show all the slides of questions together. Okay. So you can take one slide at a time and take screenshots from the last slide. We'll go back. Okay. Yeah. Was. Very good. Very good, everyone. So the equipment, we are talking about equipment as a whole unit. So one entity in the laboratory was recently upgraded. So basically, equipments, you're not changing the subject, right? And therefore, equipment has to be taken into consideration. If it was equipments, then it was a plural thing. But the equipment is singular entity in this case. Okay. Ronak, there is an error. Kalyan, there is an error. You're talking about pile of old newspapers and magazines. So we are not talking about the newspapers and magazines. We're talking about the pile. We're talking about the pile. Pile being your collective noun. Pile being your collective noun. So the word is incorrect. Okay. So the answer to our question will be were to was. So the pile of old newspapers and magazines was stacked in the corner of the room. Last question here on this slide, 15th. We have 5 more questions to go on after this. I want you all to read the entire sentence because this is the first time where you might have more than one error. Read, please. Read the entire sentence correctly. Yes. Very good. Some of you have got it. Vishali, Asta, Ikra, Samu, Realme, Soumya, Sandravadna. Very good. Saima, Bhagyashri, Shubham. Very good. Ketki also. Yeah. So none of the information. So we are talking about information as uncountable now. So in the reports is accurate, which causes. So basically 2 errors. So if you correct only is and you don't spot that causes error, you're not getting half marks. So you have to look at the entire sentence before you make that correction. So is and causes. Cause with an S. Okay. 16th question. Yes. R. Yes. R for pyjamas are too tight for me. So pyjamas is one of the words that is always considered plural. Wrong. Yes, very good. So I had purposely not mentioned two errors, but you have found it. So includes and was. Includes and was. Very good, everyone. So basket, which includes apples, bananas, and oranges, was placed. Was placed. Now remember, in this, we also have a comma before the and. Can you see that? So the comma before the and oranges is also a correction that you can see in grammar, okay? And that comma before the and is known as Oxford comma. When you have three entities arranged in an order, the last entity, when separated by and, should have a comma before the and in it. Should have a comma before the and in it, okay? So good job in finding the error. So was and includes. Sorry about not including includes here. Let's go to the 18th one. Yes, are. Very good. Are. So are should be the correction because dancing and singing, we are connecting via and. So if it was only dancing, if it was only singing, it was singular because gerund rule. But when we combine with and, it turns to are. It turns to are. Very good. 19th. No, don't change the subject. Look at the sentence, everyone. Yeah, Priya, wait a while, I'll explain. So basically, every one of the employees, everyone is your subject in this case. Everyone is still there. So everyone is what? Indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns take the sentence, make the sentence singular ahead. So singular, making it singular, we have to change have to as. We have to change have to as. Okay. So the answer for this would be every one of the employees, including the managers, has received a salary bonus this year. Has received a salary bonus this year. Now, Priya, in the 18th question, particularly, if it was only dancing, then dancing would have been your gerund. So it was singular. So dancing is an activity that she enjoys. Very good. Not an issue. Okay. But dancing and singing. So we are doing what? Two activities now, and two activities are joined by and. So when two subjects are joined via and, you make it plural, and therefore are the activities that she enjoys. Understood, Priya? Okay, everyone among. Not no need, Harsh. Everyone among लिखने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Everyone is everyone. Everyone is considered to be singular only. Okay, so everyone, someone, anyone, singular. Bhagyashree, no need to change the tense. As is singular. Okay. Salary bonus is the word. It can work. Shraddha. Salary bonus is a word. It can work. Yes, Saima. Wait a while. I'll just finish this 20th question and I'll come to your query. Give me a minute. Priya, in the manager and assistant example, what was the connector? Look at it. The connector is important there, not and, na? You'll have to see that as well. I'll go back to that question. Wait a while, okay, Priya?